Hello and welcome to Longship Gaming. It's Casual Sunday and it's a 100 subscriber special. So I want to thank every single person who has watched the channel, subscribed to it, liked, commented, any of it. I really appreciate that. The amount of time that it took the channel to get to 100 plus subscribers from 50 was much shorter than going from 0 to 50. I've noticed a real uptick in the views of a lot of the videos. I want to thank every single one of you who's ever watched this channel. You're all members of the Longship crew and will always have a very special place in my heart. So again, yeah, I just can't. I'm totally happy with how things are turning out. I will continue to make content across a number of different games and expand as we go along. You keep enjoying it, I'm going to keep making it. So again, thank you very much. So just to sort of summarize what's been going on or what's coming up. So you can see that none of this is necessarily, or hardly any of it is champions, but I'll get to that in a minute. So right now I'm in the middle of what I'm calling the vengeance cycle for champions. So I got this stuff today and was also trying to get this Thor game as one of my heroes trying to avenge a previous fallen hero. And I, again, received this stuff today, so I thought I would take some time out to note what's happened here. So these vengeance cycle games, as I'm calling them, they're going to continue for some time. I've got a few of them to do. They've been a lot of fun being able to play more recent decks with some of the cards from the more recent releases. As you can imagine, Thor with his 14 hit points is going to get a lot of use out of let's see. Unbreakable is one. Limitless Stamina is another. Ones that seem specifically made to help out Thor and Hulk. Maybe one day I'll try and apply them to Hulk, but Hulk did win in his game on the channel, so it's going to be a while before we see him again. So I'm not going to reveal who we're taking on. But yeah, that's going to continue well past the release of Mutant Genesis, which I am very much looking forward to. I like the fact that ideally on day one, going to have access to 4 of the X-Men right away. With Sinister Motives, it was more of a case of, well, I can alternate the 5 scenarios between Ghost Spider and Miles Morales, which is okay, but not really ideal. So I'll be able to take one hero against almost on a one-to-one basis with all the villains that are in the set. So then I'll have to decide who did the best and put that that champion X-Men up against, I think Magneto was the last one in that set. And then I saw it coming off the heels of Gen Con. There was an announcement of the Mojo Mania scenario pack. That was very exciting. Mojo was always one of my favorites, favorite X-Men villains. Love Longshot as a character. I'm very much looking forward to that. They pack a lot of value into it. 3 separate scenarios, a bunch of modular sets, and really heavy on theme with what Mojo does in the Mojoverse. So very much looking forward to that. So, of course, as always, every Monday, more Marvel Champions. So what else is going on? Well, this is what this is all about here. So first of all, we'll go to the things I finished. So I finished the Hood, known also for Marvel Champions, as an excellent scenario set. Really like the idea of this character. It's kind of blown out by the light here, unfortunately, but I tried to go with a much heavier contrast for the cape, making it very dark, but a much higher highlights. I got a new Vallejo Vermilion to really try and pop it up. You can put some orange in there, but it didn't really pop. Again, you can't really tell on camera. You can see, however, so the relatively simple character. It's really just a guy with a leather jacket and jeans and a cape, but there's a lot of detail to the fabric itself that I had to really sort of push the highlights. Again, it's sort of blown up here. but in person, it's a lot brighter. Fire or Portal or whatever it is, so on, but it's fine. So we got him done. He's going to go into our criminal syndicate list, but he's going to have a competition for playing when I get around to it because of this stuff that came out today. So 401 Games, which is a local game store here in Toronto. I don't really have time to go down to their shop as much as I would like, so I tend to order online. And this actually came on release day, on the street date, which I am astonished by. So the last time I ordered, which was Spider and Spider Ham, those came, they would ship on the Friday and they usually wouldn't come to the Tuesday, just the way in which Canada Post ships. So, I don't have really anything to show for that weekend of the release. But they've really stepped up their shipping game, and I got this stuff on release day. So that's why I love Crisis Protocol. You get the real weird stuff. So Crimson Dynamo, Darkstar, Ursa Major, and Red Guardian, who are members of the Winter Guard, used to be the Soviet super soldiers from back in the day. I know they're missing some members of this. But I think this one was a little delayed for these characters because of, world events, but so be it. And for the Marvel Champions fans out there, I'm going to point out something. So you may have noticed from Marvel Champions that most of the time when there is a character that comes out for that, they've appeared in some kind of Marvel media, either a Disney Plus show or a movie, or maybe there was a cartoon or something that's being aired or could be found. X-Men, that sort of thing. So I find it funny whenever you see certain characters show up in Champions or MCP, you're kind of like, well, I guess we're going to see them on the big or little screen at some point. Which is funny because Red Guardian, of course, Black Widow, Darkstar actually was a character that turned up in the excellent Agent Carter show from years back on ABC. She wasn't named Darkstar. I don't think she had the same name as this character, but she manipulated the Dark Force. I really can't see how this wasn't supposed to be her. So who knows, we're going to get big old Ursa Major Bearman. Crimson Dynamo, I will bet, is going to show up in Armor Wars on that TV series. Who knows? But, man, love to see these guys turn up at some point in Marvel Champions. And because things tend to work in lockstep, much like the Hood over here, they probably will. So they're going to be a lot of fun as a new faction to put together and to play. But, oh boy, okay. So this is why I have Hulkbuster here for reference. So far, Hulkbuster, well, Dormammu's pretty big, but I think Hulkbuster is probably the biggest model, my shamefully unpainted Hulkbuster. The biggest one they put out so far, well, I think probably Malekith here is, if not taller, much wider because of the winged tiger mount that he's got on here. But I won't, I'm not going to go into too much about why Marvel Crisis Protocol, especially the competitive set, are kind of a little annoyed. He's probably one of the most powerful characters in the game as well. So there's been a lot of gnashing of teeth over whether or not he's broken or breaks the game. That's just the way it is with all games, right? So either way, I'm really looking forward to getting this guy put together, built, and painted at some point. I'm going to be alternating painting Crisis Protocol, and I have another 9 models that I mentioned last time for Super Fantasy Brawl to do, so I'm going to have to alternate between them. This guy's going to take a lot of time. A lot of dry brushing on, I think, what is referred to as a bog tiger, which sounds like a terrible name for a majestic winged white tiger thing here. But I'm going to paint him in sub-assemblies, so Malekith will definitely be separate. I'm not going to try and mess with painting him while on the back of this tiger. Yeah, so, and Malekith, I'll mention Malekith, Thor Dark World is where he showed up. I mean, nothing like this, but still had a very impressive, very, very, very pretty character that I very much look forward to putting together. And the other, they seem totally random. Okay, so during the pandemic, a little bit of background, because I'm pedantic that way. A little bit of background. Back in the day, we're talking the 90s. So during the first collectible card game craze, there was a Vampire the Masquerade, or Vampire the Eternal Struggle, it was called, card game. A collectible card game. Multiplayer. A lot of fun. Competed with Magic. I had tons and tons and tons of the cards and really, really liked it. Got burnt out on the collecting aspect. Also, full disclosure, played Vampire the Masquerade as a LARP in nightclubs for years. Yeah, well, that was the 90s for you. So, in recent years, the new owners, which I believe is Paradox, got the rights to the Vampire license and licensed them out to various different companies. At the start of the pandemic, there was a Kickstarter for a game called Vampire Rivals, which was a non-collectible living card game, or customizable card game. So nothing's rare about it. No, there's no rarities, except maybe promos. And the first set was 4 clans. The Kickstarter was an excellent value. The number of playmats that I have and acrylic tokens and so on. It's a gorgeous set. It's just fantastic. The problem is, of course, finding anybody to play with. So I've been sleeping on some of the expansions that came out. I was able to get one for the La Sombra and the Hecate. I still have not been able to get the Nos, Gangrel, and then Tremere and Thin Blood ones. I'm probably going to have to order them from a non-usual place to get a hold of them. Doesn't matter anyway. Haven't had a chance to play them. So what I like about this is because the game is city-based. So you have a city deck where you're basically preying upon mortals and trying to further your agenda and so on. I won't get too into the weeds of the rules of the game. But they put this out this week, which is basically shifting the focus of the city from... oh my goodness, I just completely blanked. Seattle, I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong, I'll have to look it up. To Prague. And I think this has to do with the fact that there's a Battle Royale video game where it's called Blood Hunt that's set in Prague. So it comes with a whole bunch of new additional vampires, additional just stuff to add to the game, and of course an entirely new city deck. So if there is anyone out there in the Greater Toronto area who happens to be watching this, hit me up. I actually want to play this with a full group of 4 people. I want to learn this game. I want to get good at this game. I may have to do it online. If I do it online, I'll probably try and stream it or record it. So we'll see. Anyway, just again, Vampire Rivals, excellent game of what I have played of it, which is admittedly not much. But I really want to sink my teeth into it. Okay, I'm just going to leave that one alone. You can boo me all you want in the comments. You can give me a dislike. It's fine. I deserve that. Okay, so lastly, I mentioned in previous Casual Sundays that I was looking at building another table or getting some new table arrangement. Well, that has fallen through just because it's extremely difficult to actually get the parts I need to do it right now. I guess it's supply chain or just IKEA is not stocking it. So I'm going to have to work out an alternative for now. But I do have a new piece of equipment that I got to leverage. I have an old mic stand from Rock Band that I'm going to use and attach a cell phone holder to that. I had to get a quality one because most of the ones on Amazon are quite frankly trash and will break instantly. To mount to it, to use as a boom arm to film in another location with perhaps better lighting, better angle, for some larger games. So I'm going to do some testing of that this weekend, see how that turns out. Other thing up, I also, this is the problem with being a nerd who's been playing these types of games, reading comics and playing role-playing games since I got really into it when I was 10. So 4 decades of this nerd stuff later. I also play role-playing games. So we finished up throughout the pandemic. We played a number of role-playing games over Discord. So a friend, Brian, he ran an excellent D&D campaign. Finished that up. Another friend, John, played a great worldwide, was called, I think it's called Worldwide Wrestling. That was more fun than it ever really I expected it to be. That was fantastic. I just finished up running a Numenera campaign. It took about 16 sessions or so. It took around a year to complete just because of availability. And this week, my friend Rob is going to be running an Eclipse Phase, which is a transhumanist, post-apocalyptic, science fiction, cyberpunk sort of role-playing system. So I'm really looking forward to, we're doing a testing game with some pre-mates. I'm working on my character for the actual campaign. So I'm excited to be back in the player seat rather than the DM seat. So that's it. Just some rambling nonsense. But, of course, I want to come back to the fact that over 100 subs, I am astonished that we've come this far so quickly. Always looking to expand, always looking to do more stuff. Suggestions of what you'd like to see on the channel. I will continue doing Aeon's End. I'm going to continue doing Imperium Classics on top of Marvel Champions. It's just whatever my schedule allows. And again, thank you every single one of you for joining the crew. And until next time, happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching Longship Gaming. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It will really help the channel to grow and improve. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when more Longship Gaming content goes live. Until next time, happy gaming.